What's up? What's up? It's your girl Big Sip with this drip drip. Come with me. Let's enjoy a sip because we about to be lit. Today's guest on tonight's topic is brother Kelvin D. Tucker Jr. Yes, I'm telling you, I've known
Hey,
this man for quite some time, and it is an honor to first of all have you on the show with me tonight, and to have you on the show at the picnic. It's been a while since I've seen you perform. So I'm gonna play this quick intro, and then we're gonna get right into it.
okay.
You in the presence of a queen, nigga. I could change your life. Do you wanna be my king? I rule your world.
Hey, what's up? What's up? We back. So brother Calvin Tucker Jr. Tell us a little bit about yourself, why you chose that as your stage name, and what got you into the music industry.
Absolutely. But first, let me say thank you again for bringing me on your platform and allowing me to perform next month. I can't wait. I can't
Yes.
wait to fellowship with you again, of course, as well. But I've been I started out singing in church, but I started songwriting to R&B tracks. So I would take like I think Usher My Way was the first single R&B song that I ever wrote to. So I took
Mhm.
back in the day, you can go in the store and buy a cassette tape or a CD of just the single.
Mhm.
It would have the song, and then it would also have the instrumental on the track on there. So I would take the track,
Mhm.
write to them fresh. Um, I would just change the word when I first started. I would just change the words. So the song was my way, my way. So I took that and I did I know, I know a man who can. So that that was my little gospel. I know a man who can. Of course.
Yes,
So
come through
I
with the
was like,
loud vocals.
yeah, I was like 12 or 13. That was like 1998 when I wrote my first song. So I started performing those at youth events. They used to call them joy nights. So I would perform
Mhm.
those original songs, have the deacons and the youth choir rocking with me, and then I expanded. So I started doing outside events, then eventually open mics, and in 2001, I launched as a professional recording artist. Did my own concert, and things like that. So this year is actually my 20th year anniversary as a professional
Oh,
recording artist,
wow.
and I'm grateful to God for allowing me to stay in it this long. And brother Calvin came from the church, of course. Everybody was
Mhm.
brother this and sister that. So it's not like brother in the church. Brother is actually like a like minister or preacher or bishop or something like
Okay.
that. Even though I am a minister, I'm a preacher in the coming from the Baptist faith. I'm now non-denominational, but brother just simply came from growing up in the church and everybody calling you brother or sister. So
Mhm. I like that. I have a church background as well. You know, I did the spiritual dance back in the
okay,
day. Um, I have some experience with speaking and things of that nature, being in the choir and stuff like that. So it's not
yeah,
too off. Like I said, everybody who's a part of this picnic has honestly been hand selected. And you
okay,
reached out to me, and I was like, of course, because first of all, we go way back to Tony's Ghana. If you know
way
about
back.
Tony's Ghana, then you know about Miss Sabrina and Soulful Poetry. And shout out to Miss
Yes,
Sabrina because she really
Sabrina.
does not know how many connections she's helped form, how many connections she's brought together and are still close knit till this day because of her. So many people really got her their start there
Hmm.
with her, and she doesn't, So shout
Chic
out
and
to Miss
sassy entertainment.
Sabrina.
Shout out to Sabrina. We love you.
Yes, she can sassy, baby. Mama swag, mama swag. That's what I like to call it. That's so honest. So it's crazy because she's kind of like my godmom. My mother and
Okay.
her are best friends. Um,
Wow.
Dina, Miss Darling Dina of Must Be the
That's my
Music.
other boo, Dina.
Yeah, yeah, that's my mom. So they best friends. They grew up together, and so that's what brought me to that, and it led to this connection. So I'm grateful for both of them
And
because
you know they both held me down.
ultimately, listen, I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't know a lot of people. um. So what inspired you ultimately? You say you were 12. What inspired you to say, "Hey, I'm gonna give this a try"?
So actually, Usher is actually one of my favorite performers of all time.
Mhm.
Brandy, between Brandy, Usher, Yolanda Adams, and there's probably some others, but those are the main ones that I used to study. And growing up on the gospel choir and being a part of the just music and how it brings out life in you, and performing on all the choirs and things like that made me start to think, and as I would watch award shows and stuff like that, and you start to see what you can be, but the possibilities of who you can be. So I tried it, I was like, I wonder if I can write a song. I said, wait, let me see. I was like, they got instrumentals on these singles. Let me flip one over. Okay, let me listen to it. I was like, all right, what if I just change it started, with baby steps. Let me see if I just change the words, to minister, and
Mhm.
then I started doing that. Then I was like, okay, wait, now can I go even further? Can I write original content? So I started then writing to the same tracks at fresh. So I changed all the melodies, changed all of the I'm sorry, the arrangement of how I wrote to it. So my
Mhm.
way, I probably did another song to it, but it sounded nothing like Usher's My Way. So that's how
Mhm.
I really began to come into my artistry. So that's how that happened.
So, did you know that's why they did that? That's why they included the instrumental onto the singles because they wanted to see how, hidden talent would flip the track. And that's how a lot of other people got discovered because they would take that instrumental and flip the track. Little
That
little
makes sense.
drop of jewels for those who don't know down there.
That makes
I
perfect sense.
study I study music. My father had a record label back in the day. I kind of really looked into a lot of different things because I wanted to know where did I want to take my musical talents. Unfortunately, after having my son, I just don't have the time nor the patience to do
Okay.
music the way I wanted to. But it might something might pop out there. You might see Queen Fiend come make a comeback.
Okay.
But so um, you would you describe your musical style as like a R&B gospel vibe or more gospel?
So I have evolved so much. Back in the day, I was a gospel artist only. That's because I didn't
Mhm.
know who I was as an artist. So my
Mhm.
first two projects are all gospel. So my first mixtape was live. That came out in 2006. That's no longer available in print. But then my EP is still available. It's called "Can I Get an Intro?" That's an all gospel, hip hop gospel, urban type of gospel, like a Mary Mary, Dietrich Haddon, Kirk Franklin type of
Mhm.
sound.
Mhm.
That's still available on iTunes and all the digital platforms under Brother Calvin. Can I get an intro? And so around that time, God was showing me like, look at where you're performing. I was performing at bar. Of course, bar. We was in bars and
Mhm.
clubs. I was
Mhm.
doing open mics all over the East Coast. I was featuring, and God started to show me like you're bigger than being put in a box. Um,
Mhm.
and so I changed my title from gospel artist to inspirational recording artist because you're
Mhm.
still going to get power. The power comes from who I am
Yeah.
and me being connected to God. My content is always going to be clean. And it's
Mhm.
always going to be inspirational, motivational. But now I touch on real life subjects. I touch on low self esteem, suicide, relationships, but from a clean, godly perspective. So every other word may not be Jesus, 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 but it doesn't subtract from the fact that it's gospel. It's life.
Mhm.
I call it life music. So my vocal style though to me falls in the category of pop and B.
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of soul in my voice. It's more like airy and like more whiny and
More contemporary.
and piercing, and so it's a lighter sound. So it's in that
Mhm.
R&B pop category.
So
Yeah.
what you say, contemporary?
Pretty much, yeah. But my project, my album that I'm working on now is gonna be like a fusion of everything, and that's what I tried to do though with my gospel project. My gospel project is still a good way. Will give you a great idea of who I am vocally and stylistically because I'm rapping on there. I have some R&B style of gospel. I have some old school, like I got a hymn on there that I wrote. I got some acapella on there. I'm preaching on there. I'm doing poetry on there, all on that one EP. And so this new album is going to be the same, just another level. So I got the R&B styles on there. I got the dance tracks, like the techno type of sound. I've got, of course, I've got some deeper hip hop too. I really was able to go in on this one. So like I have a couple songs where I'm rapping the whole song. So
Mhm.
I'm pumped. So yeah, you're gonna get a lot on
I'm
this new
excited to
project.
hear it. I'm
Thank you.
excited
I'm
to
pumped.
hear it. So,
I have two
with that
singles
being
out
said,
though.
oh, tell us about your singles. Tell us about your
Oh,
singles.
sorry. Yeah, I have two brand new singles. The first one is 1-800. It's dedicated to my father who passed away from ALS last year, and my cousin Tamitri Carter and my childhood friend Ronnie Collins. They all passed away, and that song is for anybody that's struggling. It simply says, "Take the pain away, get me out of this place." Like, and I'm gonna keep your memory alive. The struggle that we all go through when we are mourning someone or grieving someone. And so that's available now under Brother Calvin Tucker Jr. And the newer single is "It Doesn't Matter." That's a bop.
Mhm.
That's for anybody that's needs a positive inspirational message about. It doesn't matter about your past. Doesn't matter the mistakes you've made. Right. It only matters that if you have breath in your body, then God has a purpose for your life. So none of that matters, and that's simply the message of the song. And so I got an exclusive for you right now. I'm gonna tell you before anybody else knows. I got the brand new single. The third single is dropping on Friday, April 8th. It's called Mirror Mirror.
Wow.
And I can't
Mirror,
wait. I'm
mirror.
singing and rapping on this song, and it touches on. It's really for the women. It's dedicated to y'all because of the misconceptions about beauty that y'all, the pressure that y'all are under to look a certain way. So I thought it was important to hear from a king, positive affirmations to all the queens and princesses out there. So I'm talking right to y'all about beauty, the misconceptions, and that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that you're beautiful. So that song I'm excited about too. That is dropping April 8th. You got it here, brand new single, Brother Calvin, Mirror Mirror.
Yes, yes. I'm excited about this because, but we need more encouragement from our Black Kings.
Right,
Just as Black Queens, I feel like we are at um a challenging time. I am also putting together a um panel called the State of the Black Woman. I just feel like we are definitely an endangered species with the pressures of society, wanting us to be one way because of what's popular right now. I feel like, we have a lot of pressure on ourselves.
right.
Um, so, speaking on what you said earlier about us performing in bars and, other venues, I just know that God will use you wherever He want to use you at. It don't matter where you at, what you doing. He gonna make sure that the message gets delivered one way, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
um, you know, I always kept that in mind because a lot of the times, I probably need to be in the building when you were down soulful poetry to hear that message because I was in a deep, dark place at that time. And I
Okay.
can honestly say that the encouragement to get out of that situation definitely came from being there those nights. Whether it was you sending that message to me directly, through God, or you know, just being around in that atmosphere and knowing that type of spirit was around me, it motivated
Hmm.
me and helped me. So I appreciate you.
That is
Um,
a blessing.
if you could collaborate or open a show for any artist, who would it be?
So I'll do locally and then I'll do celebrity. So of course there are two celebrity. Brandy, of course, because she is my favorite. If I could open for a concert that had it's three. Oh, it's a bunch of them, but I'm gonna give you a good three, right? If I could open for Brandy, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Tank in one concert, I'd be like,
What?
Lord, you can take me
That's
now.
power.
You can
That's
take me
powerful.
now, Lord.
That is powerful. That is real powerful. And who would you say locally?
Wait, you were breaking up. Say it again.
Who would you say locally?
Locally, there are a lot too. Let me see. Um, Locally, one of them, to be honest, I would love to open up for Drew Hill. I would love to open up for
Mm,
them.
mm.
Um, and of course, well, they're celebrity. Let me see. Let me who else is like just now starting to pop, but I could still open for them. Well, I think that's probably it.
No, that's a good, lineup.
Yeah, I would
Um,
start there with Drew Hill.
yep, yep. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're at a level, locally that somebody should be opening up for you.
Oh, and Lil Mo. Oh,
Lil
thank you. I
Mo,
appreciate that.
yeah, Lil Mo is a good one. You've
He
been
is
doing
my
this thing
favorite.
20 years. It's time for some people to be opening up for you.
Come on, speak it
um,
into existence. Come on.
yeah. So, what is one of your talents that you per se may not use?
Um. Okay, I'll tell you one that I'm insecure about that I don't use a lot is dance. So
Hmm.
I grew up dancing. We used to battle on the block. I used to be in the Christian Warriors marching band, which, if anybody knows about the city, predominantly black bands, it's not like what you watch on TV. Is straight like dancers, almost like the shout out to the group Be More Than Dance. It's almost like that.
Hmm.
Club dances, the hottest dances. We were doing them in formations and stuff like that. But over the years, I had kind of got away from it because I was on different professional journeys. That's all. But it's still in me.
Hmm.
So in 2015, when I did my tour, I brought it back out. I choreographed the whole joint. I did it. The video is on YouTube. I got my boy
Hmm.
Nisha Charles and Devon Steele dancing with me. I had a co-choreographer that helped me at the beginning. Then it didn't work out, so I ended up just fine tuning it myself because that was that insecurity. So what I did was I said I'm gonna get somebody who's a real choreographer because I'm insecure to be there with me to make sure I don't look stupid, and also to help me clean up some stuff if I need to. So that's how that happens. But by the time it was ready to go, I was on my own. So brought in Nasha and Devon, and we killed it. Yeah. So
So
dancing.
you, oh, well, that's a good one. I don't dance anymore myself. Like I said, I just really don't have the energy anymore. I'll come in here and I'll break out, and when I want to get into my personal praise and worship, that's
Okay.
what I do. That's what I do. I dance for the Lord, and that's about it. My Pastor Tony Smith, shout out to Victorious Ministries. Um, a lot of them want me to get back into it, so I might. Like I said, there's some things that I'm reopening myself to in
Okay.
2022 because you just never know where God needs you at.
Right.
Um, so, um, you mentioned you had a tour. So, what was your favorite spot to tour at? Where was your favorite stop?
My favorite spot was when I got invited to do the tour at a hmm, it was a juvenile detention center for boys in Jersey. And
Mm.
so I got invited to bring the tour there. and it was just amazing. I wish I could have done more. My goal was to get like kind of get picked up, and so the tour could be brought into schools and malls. But it technically happened partially because that was a school. It was a school. It was a detention center, but they still had classes and things like that. So it was almost there.
Well, shoot, that still worked out in your favor, and God put you where you needed to be at that moment. Um, so how do you feel like the internet has impacted the music industry?
The internet has impacted it tremendously because we already know that it's so easy for us to release our product, whether it's a book, whether it's music, whether it's a movie, documentary, fitness classes. We can do so much. Interviews. We didn't have to drive to each other. I didn't have to come to the studio. I would have loved to, but I'm just saying, we don't have to. If we're in different countries and stuff, we can still connect. We can make major
Mhm.
things happen. We can do virtual concerts. I did two virtual concerts for the pandemic. I did one
Mhm.
on Facebook and I did one on Instagram. So
Mhm.
we can do a lot of those things. And again, the expediting our product to the world. That's what the internet is most powerful for, and getting the gospel out across the world with the click of a button.
Mhm. That's good. I feel the same way. I feel like with the internet, the only thing that I can say is just it just um you don't get the organic numbers anymore.
Hmm.
And also with the internet, you know how we used to have um video shows like the 106 in Park and
Yeah,
I miss those kind of things. So that's what I miss about it. But I do feel like it kind of has highlighted underground artists a little bit more and
yeah.
given more spotlight to that, easier spotlight, so you don't have to put those instrumentals out there to find who the next, Erykah Badu or whoever.
Mhm.
That's one of my personal favorites. Erykah Badu,
Yeah,
Lauryn Hill,
yeah.
Lil Kim,
Come on.
uh, Queen Latifah,
Hmm.
you know, um, and just all of the greats from the 80s and the 90s. My
Hmm.
mother being Darlene Dina. I grew up on a lot of that. Tracy Chapman. Who else can I say? Wu Tang Clan. you know, there was Jizza and there was RZA. And at one point in time, I used to call myself Dizza because, like I just wanted to be down with the crew so
You was
bad.
about to be the first female member, huh?
Listen, I was trying so bad. Um, so you mentioned Usher, you mentioned Brandy. Is there any other famous musicians that you admire?
Tons of them. Chris Brown is also one of my top male vocalists as well. He cannot make a bad song to save his life.
No,
He
yeah.
cannot. He is probably the only artist I can say that about. Him and well, even with Brandy. Brandy's my number one favorite vocalist. Her and Dorinda Clark Cole tied number one. So
Yeah.
I'm not the type of fan to anyone to make up lies just because I'm their fan, right? So some people will say, "Oh, you're not a fan of Brandy because of what I'm about to say," but there are some songs by Brandy that I don't like. I love her
Hmm.
voice, but there's some songs I don't like. Chris Brown, there are some songs by Chris Brown that I technically don't like, but they're still 100% bops, like all the
But
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why he's one favorite artist. Like so, at one point in time on the BET Awards, it was like 5 or 6 years in a row. He was like back to back to back to back.
Killing
With
them.
the favorite artist, award. Even if he didn't put out any new music, he still had it because the fans, honestly, had his back. Um, what is one of your songs that you really like to perform? Like when you perform this song, you get the best reaction from the audience. You give it your all, and it's like, yes, I'm doing this song. This song got to be on
Mhm.
my set.
Um, hmm. It was a song on my first EP called "See His Face," and
Mhm.
that song was co-written. It originally was on DJ Fella and Anointed Voices. That's a group I used to be a part of, and DJ Fella spearheaded that song. He made the track. I came in the studio to do something else for his album, and he was like, "I just made this. Listen to this real quick." When he played 2 seconds of the track, I said, "I want this song. I want this track.
Yes.
I
Okay.
want it for me." And then he didn't say no, but I already knew it was for his project. Anyway, he was like, "I want you to help me write it." So we literally went bar for bar, like almost sentence for sentence. It was the most beautiful writing experience I have ever had in my life. And it was so powerful. And so it was on his album first. That came out first. Then we worked on mine. He's the engineer that did my EP. Can I get an intro? And he's also the rapper at the beginning, of course, on the right before I start singing the verse. So every time I sing that song, it puts me in a place. It ministers to me to a certain way that once I touch the mic, it's all over. Like, and so I've done this, and I remember an open mic I did in Philly, and I was
Mm.
singing this song, right? And when I got to the bridge part, it's like one of my favorite parts, of course. How great will be the day when I see him face to face, past the holy of holies, I will be. Oh, how I will celebrate in the midst of his embrace, past the holy of holies, I will be. And then the background comes in and repeats after me. Then we just take it on out. And so I'm taking it on out. I'm rocking, want to see his face. And so the producer that brought me there didn't tell me how it was in Philly. I remember, you get the snaps if you're doing poetry, they like your singing or whatever. But my eyes are closed, my hands are lifted. I'm singing, and all I hear is clink, 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 clink. So I look down, and there's pins flying at my feet. People are in the back of the room launching pins at my. And so I just keep,
Mhm.
by this point, I'm not new to the game, so I'm not easily distracted. So I'm still singing. I'm like,
Right.
I don't
So
know
you
what
still
is
singing.
happening. I'm like, they're not booing me at the same time, so I don't know what this is,
Exactly.
but let me just keep going, right? So I end the
Mhm.
song, I go back and sit at the table with him, and I'm like, Tim, rest in peace, Tim Whiteside. He passed away, but Tim Whiteside
Mhm.
really helped me down. Was a Philly events producer and everything like that, kept me coming to Philly. Um, so I sat down and I'm like, Tim, what is going on with the pens? So he said, yeah, you gotta go get those. Those are for you. So I go pick up the pens, and he said that basically what it means is I'd rather you have this pen than me, or I'd rather put this pen in your hand than mine. It's encouragement to keep writing and keep going. I
Yes.
was like, oh, that's deep. I just wish you would have told me first.
Yeah. Yeah. That would have been nice. That would
Right,
have been nice.
right. It
Yeah.
was hilarious when I look back on it.
So that's an honor. Philly always show love to us when we come up there. I think it's because we have similar, sounds and things of that nature when it comes to
Right.
our musical talents. So, shout out to Philly. They
Hey,
always showed
Philly.
me, they always showed me love coming, up there or whatever. So what is the best advice you've been given from someone?
Um, mm, Maybe after I talk, it'll come out. But I can say this: the best advice that I learned on my own that I always give to people is the power of saying no and knowing that there's nothing wrong with it, because you have to protect your anointing, you have to protect um your sanity, and you have to
Hmm.
the perfecting of your craft, if that makes sense. So if you always saying yes and they're not paying you, or they're not paying you what you're worth, or they're not even providing things that's necessary for your music to be played properly or whatever, and you're continuing to work with these people, this is doing a disservice to you, your craft, your ministry, your talent. You're doing a disservice, and you're taking yourself backwards. But when you take a stand, and I think a lot of people hear things like that and think the worst. Like, taking a stand is like cussing people out or throwing tables. Like, no, you can respectfully speak up for yourself and still make progress. And in most cases, the situation can turn out to be good. But if you don't say anything, it's gonna be what it is, and and it's gonna be that every time. So that's the best advice that I've learned on my own that I always share: the power and importance of knowing when to say no.
Amen. Amen. What about the industry of music and where it's going would you change and why?
Wait, you were breaking up. Say that again.
I'm sorry. What about the music industry at the moment would you change and why?
Mm. It's so much. I would start with the streaming platforms and how little they pay us,
Mhm.
especially as independent artists.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a blessing because we get worldwide reach. However, it's the sacrifice, and
Yeah,
so
because
that's we need to start
you
right
take so
there.
much money. Some platforms make you pay a monthly fee to keep your song on these platforms, and you don't even make that much money. And I know it's up to us to kind of promote. But I feel like, um, what are we getting in return?
Right.
We
I don't
doing
use
everything
those
that we can
services.
do because
Right.
as long as I share, your link that connects this person to go to your streaming platform, I should be getting a payout from that because not only is it promoting me, but it's promoting your platform at the same time.
Exactly.
Um,
And you're getting more artists that are paying that fee. So you're banking off the
right.
music I'm selling off
You
me,
banking
and you're
up
banking off the more artists that are coming and paying you to put their music on. Come on, somebody.
on, yep, yep. Listen, okay. So, again, you reached out to me at the beginning of this situation when I first started initially planning this picnic. I was just gonna have one
Mhm.
musical person one musical act and a DJ. As time went on, I was like, well, maybe I just need to add because I want to allow my headliners to have that time to breathe, to network, to occupy her merch table, and things of that nature. I was hoping we was gonna be able to meet her together tonight, but unfortunately, she's not feeling well. So shout out to Jai Ivy. I'm
Shout
looking
out.
forward. I'm looking forward to interviewing you and the people getting to know you, and we just chopping it up about everything we're gonna do about the picnic. But right now, brother Kelvin. So
Yeah.
So first of all, before we you tell us what you're going to be doing at the picnic, um, I want to personally ask you because you are a minister, because you have that connection. Would you? I like to start anything that I do, even my day, waking up my eyes. I like to, give thanks to the Lord. Would you be open to opening up the picnic in a prayer for us?
But wait, you were breaking up. Did you say would I be open to opening the event with prayer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. I like to ask permission because I don't just like to put people on the spot. Um,
Thank you.
so I'm grateful for that. So tell us all that you'll be doing at the picnic.
Wait, hold up. Let me drive across the street and see if I get a better signal. Some
No
reason it's
problem.
acting stupid.
No
Let
problem.
me see. Let me see what's popping across the street. I'm still here though.
I'm really looking forward to this. I know that this thing is going to be, um, something amazing, something that could
Yeah,
be, a possible continuous. That's why I'm speaking it into existence and making and saying the first annual
I hear you.
tipsy picnic because I want this to be something that gets big. We have so many other festivals that's going on, and so many of our local festivals that are no longer a thing anymore,
Right.
or what we are used to. I want to be able to bring something like that back. So not only is this about reintroducing my company, to the city, but also, just about a good time. It's just
Right.
about a good time and
And you
what
know what?
my company
You brought.
provides.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So you don't. What you don't know is that it's always been a dream of mine to perform on the Why Not lot. So thank you for granting one of my dreams. I'm dead
Oh,
serious. I love. So one of my favorite places to perform is at outside events. There
mm-hmm.
is nothing like the vibe, the experience, like just looking out,
Yes,
breathing the fresh air,
yes,
like just it because there's so much that happens at outside events, and most of the time
yes,
it's very diverse. Most of the time, because
yeah,
it's usually a festival of some sort that is celebrating something about a specific culture, which has vendors from that culture, and maybe a fashion show. It has different types of artists.
mm-hmm.
Like festivals are it for me.
Yes, yes. And then that area where the why not lot is very diversified within itself. So
Hmm.
you never know who might, be walking by. Again, like I keep mentioning, you just never know how God going to use you. You never
Right.
know who you going to touch. It might be outsiders stand, onlookers, and passerbyers that will just, hear what you're singing, see what you're
Hmm.
singing, and and be touched. And I
Right.
just know that this is going to be life changing, not only for myself, but for everybody who is involved. I I look at anything I do, and I never really, as much as people may think I do, I never really put myself 100% into it being about me. I like to
Okay.
include other people because I could have easily just had a DJ and made this a tasting, but because I feel like I want to give people their flowers while they're still here, I wanted to kind of highlight some people that I feel like might need a push because I know about you, but people in my world might not know about you. So when you
Right.
reached out to me, I was like, I'm putting him on. I need him there. God was like, you gotta have him. Say yes. Tell him how much time you want to give him. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I never considered it. Like anything I do, I try to see, look into. I always handpick, and I always let God guide me to who, to be a part of what I'm doing. And I'm glad that you reached out to me because
Yeah.
it just brought it back a full circle moment. Because we also are doing a tribute to Jay Sully
Okay.
that night. Yeah, so that's going to be an honor because it'll really bring it full circle with the soulful poetry, and a lot of other artists that came from out of soulful poetry being in the building that day.
Okay.
So, if you could just give us a little glimpse of what you're going to be doing, all that you're going to be doing that day, that would be great.
Well, I only get 10 minutes to bless the people outside at the Why Not lot. Can I get a witness? So in 10
Amen.
minutes, I got to figure out how to bring forth my creativity. So, no.
Yes. Listen, okay.
Like,
Sometimes
no.
you gotta go there with it.
So
Sometimes.
yeah, so what I know I want to do is the new single that's coming out because I gotta sing
Mhm.
to the women. I gotta sing tribute my queens. I want to do a little Marvin Gaye. Because
Mhm.
when you never want to. I believe that even though it's been 20 years, people still don't know me. So,
Mhm.
so I want to
Mhm.
maintain people's attention. I want to allow people to be invested in the performance, in the inspiration. So I want to do some things that people know, have people sing with me. I like rocking out with the crowd, so I don't want to just be singing all original stuff, and and people don't really
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
I have to sing my stuff so people can know. Come on. So yeah,
Yeah.
so
Amen.
maybe a little Marvin Gaye. Definitely the new single that's coming out. And maybe one of the other new singles too.
Okay, okay, great,
Yeah.
great, great. So
So I'm
tell
gonna
the
be rapping
people.
and singing to clarify. Rapping and singing.
I like it. I like it. Okay. So tell the people where they can find you at,
Hmm.
and then I want you to close out and just give a little advice of somebody who is um in the same field as you.
Okay, you can log on to www.calvinthespecialist.com. www.calvinthespecialist.com. Then you can find all my social media right at the top. And for my music, just type in Brother Calvin Tucker in any platform that you're using. I'm on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Amazon Music, Apple Music, and so on and so on. It's like 100 something digital platforms that I'm on. So please check your boy out. Please stream, please share. It's all inspirational, motivational music. You will never hear one of my songs and not hear a motivational message. That's what it's all about.
Amen. Amen. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Um, I am going to go ahead and let you go, and you have a great night.
You too. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you next month.
Yes, me either.
All right.
All
Bye
righty
bye.
now. Bye bye. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm just saying everybody's comments. Yep, that's just how he was, DJ Steve. Tupac was in there with everybody and doing his thing. Um and we all, made it work together and we love Tupac, I'm sorry, until this day. Um yeah, Kiki Wyatt, that girl is a bomb vocalist. And yeah, we're gonna do a team prayer with everybody before the event start, but then I want us to be the person to do that part of it, the team prayer. And then when the event starts, I want him to kick it off with a prayer as well for the entire event. Um and this is Strawberry Jack. Excuse me, my sticker will wash off. But yes, this is strawberry jack. One of my favorite recipes to sip on just on a regular day when I'm just chilling. And tomorrow I have a funeral to attend for my great grandfather. So I just kind of wanted to have a little sip to kind of ease my mind before, I see him one last time tomorrow. So, you know, um, we had Miss Yimmy's Trust on earlier. We really got to get to know and sit down with her, talk to her about all she's gonna do for the Tipsy Picnic, and as well as we had Brother Kelvin. Earlier this week we had oh, my brain is all over the place. We had Virginia Wilkins, and then we had LeBron Whitfield, and um, we have more to come. We will pick up next week, this time with everyone. As far as the interviews concerned, we'll pick up next week with more merchants, more. You will meet the caterer, you'll meet the headliner, and it will be more. I'm telling you guys, get that, get on that Eventbrite link. Tickets are only $10 right now. They will be $20 at the door. Reserve your hookahs. Hookahs will be only available by reservation. So if you don't reserve one, you won't get one. I am not going to bring something that I do not need. I have a lot of stuff that I have to bring for the bar service. So if it's not necessary for me to bring it, it won't be there. Um, so make sure you preserve your hookahs. This is a 420 friendly event. I will be putting together some more information in the event links later today. I'm sorry, later Friday. Tomorrow will be my baby girl's 12th birthday, so I'll be off celebrating that. If you need to call me, don't call me. Not tomorrow. Call me on Friday. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to DJ Steve. Thank you, bro, for supporting me as always. Thank you, Yolanda, for watching. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. I love and appreciate everyone who has helped Tipsy Fiend come this far. Um, I was gonna try to wait and see if Mac may be available. Ivy will have her next week. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it tonight, and I am going to close out. I'm not even going to do the outro tonight. I'm just going to close out for y'all. My sorry, my thing won't let me end the live. Matter of fact, we're just gonna go ahead and do the outro. I'm sorry, you guys.
You in the presence of a queen, nigga. I could change your life. Do you wanna be my king?